Hi, this is Mary at the Reiki Place, and today we're going to play with Reiki, with pendulums. I've got some crystals and tuning forks, but mostly I want to show you some things using the pendulum, and in particular, how to clear chakras using the pendulum. So let's get started. And the first thing that I really want to make the point is how important it is to balance the chakras. Why do we balance them? So let's talk about that just very briefly. You have 7 primary chakras, and coincidentally, you have 7 primary endocrine glands. Your endocrine glands are the ones that produce the hormones, all of the hormones. All of the functions in your body that your body is capable of are regulated by hormones. Your sleep cycle, for example, your sexuality, how sexy you feel. Your hunger is regulated by hormones. Your heartbeat is regulated by hormones. When you get stressed, it is hormones that create the increases in your blood pressure and your heart rate. That's all controlled by hormones. And when you breathe slow and deep, and you start to come back into a calm, de-stressed position, the balance of your hormones will send signals to the other functions of your body, to your heart, to your blood vessels, to your all parts of your body that are regulating how you feel. So your hormones are responsible for a condition in the body which we call homeostasis. Homeostasis means your body is functioning at its best. And so that's what you want to, that's the state that your body is continually striving to keep you in, homeostasis. And if you're continually stressed, your body's continuously fighting to bring you back into homeostasis. And that's why you get tired when you're stressed. Your body is saying, slow down, I need space, I need time. Now, the balance in the endocrine glands is to some degree influenced, I believe to a very large degree, if not completely 100%, by your energy field. So your 7 primary chakras, which are located approximately 4 inches off your physical body, and you have your root, your sacral, your solar, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. Those are your primary chakras. You have a lot more, but they're the ones that we're going to talk about mostly today. So those are bringing in universal life energy. So energy comes from everywhere, from the universe, from our source creator, from the divine creator, from space, from the sun. The sun produces enormous amounts of energy that reach the earth. The earth itself produces energy. And all of the planets produce energy. So energy is coming at us from everywhere, and we funnel it in through the chakra system. They spin. It's like if you can picture a bathtub full of water, and then you pull the plug and the water drains down the pipe. That's what your chakra is, looks like, that drain, funneling energy in. It's spinning it around and drawing it down into the physical body. It enters first from the chakras into the meridian system. The meridians, you have 12 primary meridians, and if you know anything about acupuncture or acupressure, you'll be familiar with the fact that every one of those meridians comes out as an endpoint in the palms of your hand and the soles of your feet. You have 12 of them. They're energy channels. You cannot see them. If you dissect the human body, you won't see the meridians. But if you go to an acupuncturist, they know exactly where those meridians are and exactly which organs of your body and functions of those organs are related on those meridian lines. And your endocrines, you see, are associated with the energy that comes in through a specific chakra, which comes through the meridians into that endocrine system, into that endocrine gland. So for example, the throat chakra connects to the thyroid gland, which is right there in the throat. and your solar plexus connects to the pancreas, which is another endocrine gland in the middle of your body. And your heart chakra connects to the thymus. So all of your endocrine glands connect specifically to a chakra. And there's an interplay there. You see, when the chakra is out of balance, the endocrine gland associated with it is not going to be producing the hormones that create homeostasis. The hormones are going to be off balance. So a lot of people go to functional therapists, functional doctors who measure the balance of your hormones. But did you know that you can influence the balance of your hormones instead of taking artificial pills or hormone supplements or bioavailable supplements or whatever the heck they try and sell to you? If you just go and get a chakra balancing and maybe do that regularly, then you'll be supporting that homeostasis, that condition of homeostasis, which is where your body performs at its very best. So when we work with the pendulum, what we want to do first of all is make sure we're holding it properly. So I'm just going to show you that first. So here is a pendulum, making sure you can see it on the screen. And a lot of people, when they pick up a pendulum, they want to dangle it like this. And then you can say to your pendulum, show me yes, and show me no. But do you see how wobbly it is? It's really not a very good signal from your body to the pendulum. So when you're controlling the pendulum with your mind or asking it to show you what your inner mind is thinking, you want to make sure you're holding it really well. So I'll see if I can illustrate this. I take it between my thumb and forefinger like this, and then I let the string, I grip the remainder of the string. So you want a little bit left. You want to grab it like in the middle of the chain or a little bit lower down in the chain, and let some of the chain fall into your hand and grab it like this. And then turn it around, and now you have command of the pendulum, and your inner body can speak through the connection of your physical hand to the pendulum. So now see how much more clear the signal is now if I say show me yes and show me no. Show me yes. Show me yes. And show me no. And if you look closely at my hand, you see I'm shaking a little bit, but I'm not, because my hand is like up like this, but I'm not moving my hand when I do that. So now, when you're holding the pendulum over the chakras all spin in a clockwise way. If you find for you they spin anti-clockwise, we won't worry about that for now, just let that go. But if you find that all of them, what you're looking for is uniformity. So if all of them are spinning the same way, and if you're in balance and your client's in balance, they're going to be going in a clockwise direction. If they go anti-clockwise, or if just one of them goes anti-clockwise, that's a signal to you that something is wrong. So when you're testing a chakra, you have when you're using your pendulum, if you're asking yes/no questions with your pendulum, don't hold it over your hand, because your hand has chakras. So you're going to pick up the energy. See, that's picking up the energy in my palm chakra. When we give Reiki, and we give Reiki mostly through our hands, your hands, your palms have chakras in them. So let's explore the palm chakras. So here is this is my left hand, my right hand's holding the pendulum. And from where I'm standing, that pendulum is spinning in a clockwise direction, because my left chakra is receiving energy. There it goes. So you will see that with my right palm now, the pendulum is spinning in an anti-clockwise way. I don't know if you can pick that up. I'm holding the pendulum in my left hand, and I'm holding it over my right hand, and it's spinning anti-clockwise. When I hold it over my left hand, it's spinning clockwise. So why does it spin differently? From all the chakras of the body, it spins clockwise, but on the right palm, it spins anti-clockwise. That's because the left side of your body is your yin energy, and your yin energy is the receiver. And the right side of your body is the yang energy, and the yang energy is the presenter. So this is why, so this is why it spins differently on this hand. Now, when you give Reiki, if you're a Reiki practitioner and you have a pendulum, you can try this yourself. Turn your Reiki on. And when you turn your Reiki on, you see both hands present. The left hand is no longer the receiver, it's a presenter, as well as the right hand. So we want if the right hand spins anti-clockwise, normally because it's presenting, and then now I've turned my Reiki on, I have Reiki flowing through my hands, so no difference in the right hand, but the left hand now, which was spinning clockwise, is now spinning anti-clockwise because I have my Reiki turned on. And you see how I have a lot of Reiki flowing. You see how the pendulum's getting bigger and bigger? If I hold it further up, it'll pick up even a better stream of energy. See how it's getting quite big now. Now I'm going to turn my Reiki off with conscious intention. You can watch my hand. I'm not moving my hand. Now I've turned my Reiki off. The pendulum starts to swing in the other direction. So you can try that if you're a Reiki practitioner. Even if you're not, even if you don't do Reiki, you can still experiment. You have to use your conscious intention to change the flow of the chakra. And you can just say to yourself, I now set the intention to change the direction of flow of my chakra and present energy instead of receiving energy through that chakra. So this is Tilly. She's my Reiki model, and she's going to help me illustrate how you can clear chakras with the pendulum and how you can test them. Now, technically, you don't really have to use a pendulum if you have Reiki, but it's useful if you don't have Reiki, or if you're not sure of your Reiki, if you want to check the balance in the chakras. So here I'm over the root chakra, and she's not blocked here. The pendulum is swinging. And there are two ways to do this. You can gently swing the pendulum. So I'm doing that motion on purpose. Let me see if I can just fix the camera so you can see my hand. Okay, I wanted you to see both my hand and the model. So here is the root chakra. And I'm doing nothing, but I'm just holding the pendulum. I'm starting from the pendulum being very still and letting it find its own momentum. Now, obviously, you'll do this with a real person, not with a toy. But you'll find that it works just as I'm showing you. There's some kind of magic connection between me and the ragdoll, how I can make this work. And you see, like, I'm not moving my hand, I'm not spinning the pendulum, but it's spinning by itself. So now I'm going to test the sacral chakra. And as I move from here to here, I'm gently giving the pendulum a swing back and forth. Root chakra's working. Sacral chakra blocked. See, it's not picking up a spin there at all. So the sacral chakra is blocked. Let's test the others. Solar plexus, fine. Heart chakra, that's fine. Throat chakra. Throat is blocked. See, it's not picking up a spin. It's just moving back and forth. Third eye is functioning. And the crown chakra, you can't really see that, but I'm just holding it just a little bit. Move her down so you can see that. I'm just holding a little bit lower down because the crown chakra is in the middle of the head. So anyway, we've got a block in the sacral and a block in the throat. So what can we do? Well, here's one way to do it. And that is to hold the pendulum over the sacral chakra and tell the pendulum that you want to clear the chakra. So I'm going to clear the chakra now. Pendulum, clear the chakra. Now I want you to watch the pendulum. I hope that you can see this on the camera, but as it starts to pick up the energy, it starts to spin more and more widely. I know it's sort of hard to see. I'm not an expert with cameras to get you a really good angle, but you can see that it starts to spin wider and wider. And the best way to test this is to do it for yourself. Use a live person to do this on. Most people will have at least one block in their chakra system at any given time. But if they don't, then you can still clear the chakra anyway. Even if you don't pick up a block, you can still practice clearing the chakra with this technique. And then as you just stand here, the pendulum comes back down to a more gentle swing, and it almost stops, and then it starts to pick the energy up again. You know, this might work better with a lighter color pendulum. So I'm just going to stop for a minute and go. Okay, so I was using, it's a gorgeous pendulum. It's a purple chevron amethyst, but it's hard to see against my blue shirt. So I'm going to use this. Again, it's a beautiful, this is a peach moonstone, so it might be easier to see. So the other block that she had was in her throat chakra. So we're going to ask the pendulum to clear. Please clear the throat chakra. And you see how it's spinning now quite fast and quite big, around and around and around. And then it's going to come to a stop. And then it's just going to start to pick up the balanced energy. Now, the one thing that I'm going to ask you to trust me on is the fact that this is a ragdoll, and yet we're seeing, come on, do we need to clear again? There, now it's starting to pick up the energy in the chakra. Asking you to trust that connection between me and the ragdoll. I don't know how that happens. I can't explain it, but whenever I'm using a doll to, or a teddy bear to demonstrate, we can always find a blocked chakra and we can always clear it. Now there's one other way we can clear the chakras. Well, there's lots of other ways, but I'm going to show you, well, I'll show you two other ways. So stand by. Okay, so I have a couple more toys now. I have a puck, and this is a tuning fork puck and two tuning forks. And I have a couple crystals. I got a ruby here and an emerald, and I got a clear quartz point. So there's the quartz point. So I'm going to show you how to clear a chakra using a crystal. So before we start, we're going to clear the crystal. So you can just hold the crystal between your hands, turn your Reiki on. You can put your Reiki symbols into the crystal. The power symbol is very good for clearing. And then we're just going to give the crystal a little Reiki and ask it to work with us. And then we're going to place it on the chakra. And again, I like to use the symbols. So we're going to put the symbols into you can use any symbols that you want to. And then just give Reiki to the crystal. And then now we can leave that crystal to work. It's working for us. So we can walk away and be working on another area of the body. So I'm going to take now this root chakra crystal. It's a beautiful dark rich ruby. And I brought the root chakra on purpose because I want to show you how you can use the root crystal. So obviously you don't want to set it directly onto somebody's crotch. That wouldn't be very polite. So you can set it just up. And, you know, people have tummies that are rounded and rolly. And so you need to find a little place as close as you can where you can set it. And then you can take a crystal point. And of course you would clear You clear these crystals just like you cleared the other ones and ask them to work with you. And then you can point the point towards the crystal in the direction of the chakra. So you can do this lower down on the body as well. You can do this, for example, I'm going to move Tilly a little bit down between the knees where it's easier to reach and, you know, quite a neutral area. So you can set the crystal down with the point pointing towards the root. And then again, you can set the quartz point behind your crystal to point that energy in the direction of the root chakra. You can also just by intention, because remember, everything in Reiki, everything in energy work is by intention. You can just set the, let me see, I'll set it somewhere where the camera can pick it up. You can just set it beside the body. We'll point it vaguely toward the root chakra and set the intention that this crystal is going to work with the root chakra. If you have the Reiki symbols, you can give it the distance symbol if you would like to, and just do the distance symbol here and here. And then those two are going to join energetically and your crystal is going to work for the root chakra. And then again, you just put the symbols into the crystal and then continue on giving Reiki. And you can give Reiki to your client right through the crystal there. It doesn't matter that the crystal's there. You can still direct the Reiki right directly into the heart chakra. And then, of course, with Reiki, you don't actually need anything. You don't need any crystals. And I'll show you the tuning forks in a minute. You don't really need the tuning forks. All you need to do is give Reiki. And sometimes you can stir that chakra a little bit, always stir it very gently in a clockwise direction. And you can come up a little way to release any blocks that are higher up. Hearts often have a heart block at about the 8 to 10 inches. Sometimes you might find a heart block, so you can come a little further up. If I go any further up, you won't see me. But so you can give Reiki like that, or you can just use your regular hand position to give the Reiki. And more often than not, I found, even without any toys at all, any chakras that are out of balance will come back in balance once you give a Reiki session. So let's move on and do the tuning forks. This is, these are, my good tuning forks are not with me, they're at work, so I'm at home here. So I'm using my second set, my B set of tuning forks. But this one is tuned to the root chakra. And its hertz, if anyone cares about that, is 194.18 hertz. I don't know if the speaker will pick that up, but I'm playing it to the speaker for you. But don't worry if you can't hear it. The point is to learn how to do it, and then you can do it this way for yourself, and you'll be able to hear your own tuning fork. So you just ring the tuning fork, and several ways you can do it. You can stir like this just by turning the fork deliberately. And I'm just going to pause for a minute and see if I can get that camera to pick up a little bit more. Okay, we'll try this. So I want you to be able to see the top of my hand. And this is a long fork. So you can just stir the chakra like this. Or you can hold the fork, and I have another set of forks, but I don't have them with me, so I can't show you, that have a little rubber ring around them that you can just grip it and let it spin, just like I showed you with the pendulum, how the pendulum picks up its own spin. The tuning fork will also pick up a spin. And when you play the tuning fork, you can allow that vibration now to play in that chakra. And there will be a moment, I'm not sure if I can make it happen for you on camera. After you play it several times, the ring will change. It becomes clearer. Maybe that was it. The ring changes from a duller tone to a more clear tone. And when you pick that up, you know you've brought the chakra into balance. And then this tuning fork is just a C note, so 256 hertz. The C resonates to the root chakra, so you can use that one as well. I'm just holding it very loosely in my hand and letting it spin in the chakra energy. You can use any tuning fork. Don't have to get too hung up on whether it's the right one for the chakra. So this is a C, it resonates to the root chakra. You can actually use a C to balance any of the chakras. So if you only want one fork, you know, get something like this C, the 256 hertz, because it's a very versatile frequency. That's doing it with the tuning forks. So let's just talk, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's just talk very briefly about how you can balance your own chakras. So you don't want to try and do it like lying down and then holding a pendulum over you. That's not going to work very well. It'll work for 1 or 2 chakras, but you won't be able to get probably to all 7 that way. So you could have someone else do it for you. You can teach someone else to do it for you. It's not hard to learn at all. And or you can do it for yourself by projecting yourself. Now, if you are a Reiki practitioner, you can give yourself the distance symbol. You can use a surrogate like I have on the table, Tilly, or a teddy bear or a rolled up towel or anything you want to. You can select some neutral markers. I'd pick plastic things or wooden things like pencils maybe, or something like that. Not crystals, because when you use crystals, your pendulum might be picking up the energy in the crystals. So we'll just go back to our view of Tilly and grab a pendulum again. And what you're going to do is, if you're Reiki, you can give Tilly the Honshazi Shonen. And if you're not Reiki, you can just, with your conscious intention, project this as a hologram of you into this thing on the table. And then you're just going to start by checking each of your chakras. She's in beautiful balance now that we've been working on her. She doesn't have, okay, she's showing me a blocked throat here. So remember what we do, we're just going to let the pendulum, but I'm telling the pendulum to clear the chakra. I'm just sending that signal from my mind to the pendulum to clear the chakra, and it starts to spin more and more widely. And then we're just going to let it, when it's done, it'll come to rest like that. And then it'll stop a little bit, and it'll start to pick up the balanced energy. So you can do this for yourself, pretending that this is you on the table. And hopefully after you do that, it'll be revealing for you, because you'll see where you're blocked, and then it'll help you to feel better. And if you do, you can do that for yourself every day if you want to try and keep your body in balance. So now, if you want to give a distance chakra balancing to somebody else, you can do that in the same way that we did it, that I showed you for doing it on yourself. You just project them onto the table instead of yourself. And you can use the distance symbol on yourself and on your stuffed toy or whatever you're projecting on. If you're using markers, or if you're just doing this using your imagination and imagining that they're there, just give that whole process the distance symbol. And I do recommend incorporating your chakra balancing into a complete Reiki treatment. And that will help to de-stress you. You see, if your chakras are out of balance, you're carrying stress. Something is stressing you out. And if you don't address that stress and you just do a quick chakra balancing, but you're still carrying in your mind all those stress factors, you're going to move out of balance again. But if you do that as part of a Reiki treatment, so Reiki lowers your blood pressure, it lowers your heart rate, and it brings you to that wonderful place of inner peace and serenity. And if you do that regularly, it will help you work on whatever is causing you stress. And it will help you find ways to think differently, to change your beliefs, to change your behavior patterns, so that those types of things no longer bring you stress. If you have learned something from this video, I hope that you will like it and share it. And if you're interested in learning Reiki, I hope you will check my link below. The reikiplace.us is my website, and I offer a year-round schedule of Reiki classes, and I offer those both in person mostly in Colorado Springs and online. I also travel a little bit, so I have classes occasionally in Atlanta and Iowa. So I hope you'll check that out. And thank you for watching.